No niin, oikein hyvää juhannusta kaikille. Happy Midsummer for everyone. No niin, eli meillä on täällä uusi, tosi vanha peli, 30 vuotta vanha peli. Tää on yksi mun suosikkiroolipeli. This is one of my all-time favorite role-playing games ever. I noticed that when I remember, I think I bought this game 1994 from a friend with a 50 Finnish marks, and it was CD version which had like music as a CD track. So we are going to start play this today. So it's a let's make an unboxing. So at that time we had like guidebooks in this box, and I seem to have to misplace the CD, but I think the CD might be somewhere else. Need to look around. Anyway, this Betrayal at Krondor was based on the famous American writer Raymond Feist production, known from Magic and Apprentice. Now, when we have been reading fantasy in Finland, it happened so that this wasn't the writer who was known in Finland. In fact, Serpent War series, which was continuing series. It was like 5th series or something after this book series. That was got translated to Finnish. Eli tästä kirjailijalta käännettiin vaan ainoastaan se lopputuotannosta, mikä oli sellainen, että sä et tajunnut yhtään mitään, mitä siinä puhuttiin. So I started to read this, and I think this was one of the best fantasy books I have ever read, and writers. Also Dungeons and Dragons, basically. And what happened that they did make book out of this game, which is right here, Krondor the Betrayal, where they took the pages of this game. Yes, this is text-heavy game, and made it a book, cutting some parts away which were a bit too troublesome. Krondor, the developers did make a Betrayal at Antara, which wasn't based in same fantasy world, and Krondor had like sequel, Return to Krondor, but I like this, but this didn't generate as much interest. It was 3D game, so at the phase where 3D graphics were evolving in a fast pace. So this wasn't really, I like this, but this wasn't really popular. However, Betrayal at Krondor did generate lots of interest. I think my roommate did play it through like in a year 2001 when I was studying. So this was highly influential. But let's start playing. What I'm doing is to use AI to read out certain parts of the cutscenes, because cutscenes had like huge amount of text as well. So we'll start going through this game, and I like to tell about old games and stuff. And the fact is that this midsummer the game is going to be like 30th anniversary of this game. So let's stop this rambling and get to the game. And here we are, the game in a DOS box. And it's let's start it up again. We have sound. Okay, you can notice that one of the creators is Neil Halford, so it's not common that real TV directors get to the game business, but that actually happened. concerned about alt tabbing here when I want to actually show the use the AI recorded voice lines for this game. Alright, I think we are mostly set here.
One by one he tended the wincing soldier's purple wounds, stitched, salved, bandaged, decorated with a golden halo of firelight. Fortunately for his roadside patient, he could do more than most. Fingers slick with alum ointment, he worked fervently to tie off a catgut cord, then brushed the injury with a light touch that to the untrained eye would seem only a friendly pat. Others would recognize the telltale hand gesture as a magic ward against infection. Done, Owen sighed, wiping his hand in a rust-colored cloth. No guarantees, though. The stitches may hold all the way to Lamut and then, again, push too hard and you could be bleeding like a stuck pig on Midsummer's. You did fine, Senior Locklear replied, smiling approval before rolling down his sleeve. It'll scar, but it's good for a noble's reputation. Lets the kingdom folk know he's resting on his laurels, and it impresses the ladies. I'll be sure to look you up in Tyburn if ever I need stitching up. Again. The boy accepted the compliment with a humble nod while he packaged away the rest of his medical supplies, his thoughts focused instead on a third man, who slumped in the shadows across from them. Despite the manacles that bound the stranger's hands and the distance that separated them, the boy felt dreadfully exposed, his avenues of escape limited should Locklear's elven-looking prisoner decide to liberate himself. What did he do? Owen whispered, jerking his head towards the man. Korath? Let's just say that he had the disadvantage of being at the wrong place at the wrong time, Locklear said cautiously. He snatched a greenish apple out of his knapsack, offering one to Owen. I have to take him to Krondor. Did he kill someone? Owen asked. No. He attacked you. The senior wiped apple juice from his mouth, shook his head. No, not exactly. Well, who cut you up then? Before Locklear could reply, Gorath leapt forward, his chains writhing between his wrists like metallic vipers. Gorath, get out from underfoot, Owen. Assassin in the camp. Gorath, do not struggle so, Hazeth. I wish to keep you alive. Gorath, but be glad I do not. The goddess of death will show you greater mercy.
Alright, so this is our adventuring screen here. We can actually save the game. So, as you can see, it's a 3D scenery, much like in a Dungeon Master or Eye of the Beholder, and we have 3 characters here. Thinking only made it worse. And we can check the foodstuffs here. There's rations amount 4. These can be actually spoiled, or they can even be poisoned. So have fun. And lockpicks, because he was some kind of assassin.
Gorath seemed distant.
Okay.
Gorath seemed distant, though the Mordhell warrior didn't appear grieved about killing the assassin. that had followed them from the Northlands. His eyes had a baleful look in them. That seemed something between hatred and rage. Several times he glanced back at the corpse that lay behind them in the dust, his thoughts unguessable from his expression. Locklear. Gorath seemed...
Yeah. I tested this, and this is actually what happened before. It's pretty hard to out-tap without game going bonkers.
Distant. Though the Mordhell warrior didn't appear grieved about killing the assassin. That had...
Almost good idea. I did practice this, but it's not working. It's not working as well as I would hope. Okay, so now we switch here.
Though the Mordhell warrior didn't appear grieved about killing the assassin that had followed them from the Northlands, his eyes had a baleful look in them.
Okay. Let's sort this out. Yeah, because when I alt tap it, the mouse is kind of doing this funny thing. I suppose we need to fix this before we can actually continue. Okay, so now I need to go here.
Gorath seemed distant. Though the Mordhell warrior didn't appear grieved about killing the assassin.
If I alt tab. Maybe I'll just click the window and hope it works.
Gorath seemed distant. Though the Mordhell warrior didn't appear grieved about killing the assassin that had followed them from the Northlands, his eyes had a baleful look in them. That seemed something between hatred and rage. Several times he glanced back at the corpse that lay behind them in the dust, his thoughts unguessable from his expression. Locklear. Do you wish to bury him? We could do that. Gorath. It is not our way. I simply am somewhat disturbed that he should come after me. He was a kinsman. There are other things that trouble me as well. Delican's assistants are slow but not altogether stupid. Another like Hazeth. And you'll only have my corpse to drag before your Prince Arutha. Locklear. Sorry, you don't get off that easy. As long as you are under my command, you are forbidden to die, Mordhell.
A badass.
I've gone to far too much trouble keeping you alive to bury you now. It's time that we took the chains off of you. It'll be far easier for you to defend yourself if your hands are free to swing a sword again. OWIN. You're not just going to set him free, are you? I thought you said he was your prisoner. Locklear. He is my prisoner, Owen, but the circumstances are terribly complicated. Even if he chose to sneak off, he'd be lucky to make it to the next town alive. This is the third such assassin we've run into since we left.
Okay.
The Northlands and I have a feeling that more will be waiting for us. He will be much safer with me and I with him. Gorath. As the boy would be. If he were to whisper the wrong word in the wrong ear, he could easily be the death of us. OWIN. Me? Who am I going to talk to? I'm not even heading in the same direction. Locklear. It wouldn't be a matter of who you talk to, Owen. There will be ears listening for word of a Mordhell traveling with a noble. Damnation. I should have thought about this when you entered camp. For the time being, you're my squire. Once we arrive safely at the palace, you'll be free to go your own way. OWIN. but I have pressing business in Tyburn. Goreth. This is not a subject of debate. We must get to Krondor. My mission is of critical importance and I don't have time to improvise an easy solution. The only other possible option would be to slit your throat and leave you dying. I have absolutely no desire to do that. Now let's get moving before Delicans. Assassins catch our scent again. They'll likely come looking when Hazeth doesn't return from his mission.
Okay, so now the adventure actually starts, and as a teenager you are like, what just happened? Why that guy killed the assassin? Why there's like guys after the fact? And yeah, I didn't feel like reading everything from this gameplay because there's lots of text. So I decided to use the AI to read out loud. But yeah, so here are 3 characters, and you can see there's like some numbers, but it's not terribly complicated as a game of this time. So you can have a armor, weapon, bow, rations. These 2 spoil, and then even healing potions. And this boy is actually wannabe mage. So he's just using staff. Okay, herbal pack. I think this helped the healing. And we can actually see the stats, and they are like percentage. This kind of system isn't much use in these days. For somehow this resembles of Quest of Glory game series of the games rather than anything else. But it's simplified. It resembles to the Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu, or basically role-playing system, Rune Quest, and such a template. But you can actually see what this guy actually can do, or what they all can do. Ovin can actually cast spells. So I need to click the... Okay, these are probably something you need to look from the manual. Local air is pretty badass, and he's actually one of the characters from the book series. There's not too many. There's like several really important characters from the book series, but at this starting group, he's his only canon character. I think he died in the later books. So let's save and continue our way. So as you can see, we can actually traverse pretty faithfully around. So there's a 2D view and 3D view, and even bigger map. So we are at here. Mortals were mentioned. They are dark elves. Gorath is a dark elf. They are from here. First, this Magic and Apprentice book actually is set here and to the other world. So this kingdom here actually got a bit of mishap because people from the another world actually opened a portal around here, and they fought like something like 15 or 10 years, something like that. So Krondor is here. It's a capital of this this part of the kingdom. So west part of the kingdom, east part of the kingdom is here, and we need to bring Gorath to there. And it's not elaborated, but his background story tells that he's some kind of defector. So let's get started. How do I change between the main? Okay, so main is here. It's a chest. Luckily, I gritted his teeth, and these chests can be actually they can be mined. So, and now as a power player, we are going to assess where go there. So there has been like huge camp next to us, and there's lots of campfires. And the fact is that you can actually see the enemies from far, but we should go south. But I think what we are going to do is circle around a bit and get some experience, and maybe get some a bit more experience, resources, and kill enemies before we head to the. And I mean, these guys have a dreadful skills, and well, Locklear's armor isn't in too good shape. All weapons and armor actually wear out, so they are going to break down. Yabon. That's leading to a village. And this is 90s vector graphic. And the trees are sprites, but mountains are 3D objects. Really simple. It's best if we move through town as quickly as possible. I left the wedding party here not too long ago, and it might raise unpleasant questions if I were seen here again. We may need supplies. The shop here called Crossroads. It's locked. Building. And we have a key, peasant's key. And then we have a couple big lockpicks. Looks like this used to be some sort of laundry shop, but apparently has gone out of business. Take a look around. Of course, now we got much better armor. So now we got some armor for him as well. Left click to save a bookmark file. Right click to cancel. So this is actually quick save. Okay, now I can see what the spells are. Scent of. Okay, he can now sense if the chest has been trapped. Definitely a good idea. This is my own house. As much as I would like to enjoy the opportunity to explain why I'm traveling with a Mordor, I think we should leave. So yeah, I think the Mordors were like basic bad guys. There's a lot of background to this, but they are like enemies of the kingdom and everything else. In one book there was like this kind of city in north which was fighting the dark elves. So. So I have a 20 silver, 11 armor. Gold. 4 armors and red sounds. These are actually what we need. So pick up these when you get. This doesn't have any more hotspots. So we could actually return to north, and this is like really bonkers, but any power player knows that they need to like go and pick up some supplies and get experience and stuff like that. Also, voin myös kertoa suomeksi tästä. I can also speak Finnish about this. So where are we now? What's this place? Something doesn't feel right about this place. When he returned a minute later, he had a grin look on his face. What did you find? There was an open chest lying on an empty work table. Looked as through it has been rigged with a system of tripwires and flints. The contents were no doubt explosives. Someone's been up to no good, and we best leave before they get back. Okay. Mortal box would be impossible open without solving its word lock, and judging by the marks on the face of the chest, others had learned that lesson after much difficulty. So, Korat scanned the runes embossed on the mortal glue plate. It's text their only hope of opening the difficult word lock. So this is a way to get different kind of riddles in the game. In the world, none can compare to this tiny beaver, this deathly cloth. So silky and fair, tiny beaver and silk. What's doing silk? Spider. So basically, there's a hard and easy way to do this. Easy way is to actually write down each of the letters you can get from the log, and then figure out the right answer. But so now we have an armor that is in a pretty okay shape. Okay, now we get better armor for the group. You can see how the world is getting dark. So yeah, this game has time of day, and you can actually run to the ambush if you and you need to rest. I don't think this has wandering monsters in a sense that you could be ambushed while camping. So that's one thing. So we are doing a detour here. I'm not going to plan to make too much detours, but basically I think I played the game. He was mercenary. Lockner could tell by the hardened set warrior's face that he hadn't hunted them down to avenge wrong done him. Hadn't chased them to collect the debt. He had come because the coin had been of the right color and right amount. But so okay, it's only one. Okay. So this had like two styles of attack, but we are going to have something. This where the eyes blind target for some short while. So here you can see I can thrust or I can swing, and thrust is much more and of course he misses. And Korat doesn't seem, even he's a great badass, I think he's just normal. So okay, he's doing his stuff. So basically this is a chest. Search the body and for supplies, but make it quick. If there are more waiting out here, let's not be here when they return. Okay, he had pretty good sword. Which of you had like worst sword ever? 97, he's keeping good. He's keeping his sword in a pretty okay shape. So we have something actually, and you can notice that we have now 4, 10, 10, 9. So we have 14 plus 9, 23 days worth of food. So that leaves us a little over. Okay, so let's balance this out a bit. 8, 6, 9, 7, 8, 8. So a bit food would be nice. And you can actually see, if we right click, you can actually start seeing when they start to get experience. So he's better at casting, but melee would be really nice. So my project when I played this was to increase the Owen's melee rating over 50. So he can actually defense is another thing. So he could actually defend himself even without spells. So this is one of those games where you always go and search the corners. Okay, there's someone here. I think we do well to pay attention to that little creature. Whatever started it may be close at hand. If we continue that direction we are currently headed, I suggest we do so with a great caution. So he kind of succeeded with the spot hidden roll or something. So there's like people in ambush. Can't see them, but they are there. And these can be actually poisoned or something. Don't move in our daydreaming, we have allowed ourselves to wander straight into a trap. So there's like magical traps. And there's one spell weaver as well. Invitation. Health and stamina. That's how it's done. So now we actually need to like navigate our way out of this maze. I think we could get the... Alright, G is the button. Don't do it. So one turn at a time. So it's enough to have like one character past the. Yeah, he got lots of damage. Although we could actually restore the game. This move forward is definitely okay. Actually, health. Health or stamina. I get one character through the trap here. Yes, okay. Now I didn't messed it up. So this is Elf Sword, Lamprey, and it's like racial modifications. So if I'm a human and using this sword, I'm gonna get like minus something, but it's pretty okay for the elf. And of course I can't actually carry more than these. I think he can deal with much better with this weapon. We are going east. Oh, there's something here. North. 300 pounds of madman answered the door. The crazy-looking farmer said to himself, seizing up Locklear in a single glance. Should have known that some kind of stranger had to be responsible. For what? Locklear prompted. Don't play stupid. You have been keeping me up for the last 10 nights with those rackets to the west. Locklear shook his head. I'm afraid there's been a mistake, really. We will be leaving you alone now. Okay. So there's something in the west. Okay, so there's a field. Right over there. Suspicious. I guess. Whoever was making racket has moved on. Let's camp for the night. Even Locklear is well, Gorath is mission man of the mission, and Locklear wants to take him. We can actually still go around and explore the almost a whole area. Ah, there's another box here. Pikutauko katsomiseen saunavuoro. Saunavuoro on itselläkin edessä huomenna. Juhannussauna. And generally I think that it was bad idea to just bury it without a word. Shall we dig up on up this grave? No, we are not going to dig up. We don't have a shovel. And you can actually dig up graves, but it's like going to be like a coast attack if you it is wrong cave. Because sometimes these dark elves actually hide the supplies in the grave. So that's the rationalization of the well, why they allow the you can actually pick go and grave rob in this game. Oh, there's another. There's a village. The Three Hillman War. this had something to do with. No, it's just a jewelry. Nothing special with it. Because that's pretty darn expensive. Okay, he's not buying armor and weapons. Okay, Mr. Nobleman, you can carry something as well. Light and darken blue, so we don't really need light. And armor's hammer, that would be good. Practice loot, yes, you can start barding in this game. Shovel, digging up some graves. But okay, I'll buy with the given price. You can haggle, and at the start of the game you are really poor in everything. So I think 30 golds for practice loot. Yeah, let's go for it. Haggle. Although it was immediately obvious that shopkeeper had no desire to haggle on the price, so when pressed on braying that his natural charm would win him a cheaper price. For a short time it seemed that his victim was eroding, but last the shopkeeper rapped sharply on the counter. Enough! The shopkeeper said, buy at my price or be off with you. So, unavailable, he's not going to sell that anymore to us. Okay. That can happen. That definitely can happen. And big locks are really expensive. But now we have something we can actually use for the maintaining our armor. Armorcraft he has 49%, 43%, 9%. So now we know who is going to like get his armor treated. And this was, yeah, this was this easy. This was this easy, so you don't need to like, well, 97%, I don't think. How many whetstones we have? We could actually try. And you could actually try first improve every armor and weapon before you sell them off. That's how you are getting more money. Okay, it's okay. So we can actually improve the quality of the armor and weapons before we sell them off. Which is like, that's how you do it in real life. Doesn't seem to anyone about. I really can't stop to talk, she said while trying to open apron around her face. My husband Ethan's just taken off on other scavenging trips on the Three Hillmen. I need to watch the place for him. Come by sometime. Okay. Yes, we got arrows, but we don't have any bow, so. Lockline rapped on tavern door. No one was coming to open up. Lockline shrugged. Well, it would seem that common folk have taken Prince out of the slough by heart. Doors open from midday to midnight. But I suppose someone had to ensure farmers weren't drinking when they should be in the fields. Sometimes heat really takes all the fun out of life. So basically, I think this was like Great Britain had this law. Okay, so we are this morning. So we are definitely in the Tyrsog, and it's kind of well, north is no go. east is not going to be a sensible way to go. So we are going to return back where we came, because even this short adventuring was really lucrative. If I recall my geography, this road skirts between the High World and the Teeth of the Earth, ultimately leads past the northern garrisons to High Castle and Northfind. What do you think? Do we take this path? No. So let's check. Okay. Let's go right direction this time. One of the first games where you can actually get lost. Of course, that when you get the overhead map, you are going to. Yeah, and this has this roadblock. So now we can actually go all the way with the road without actually trying to keep the characters on the road, which is really cool feature for a game from that era. So that's a bird look. He gets short when he gets old. He goes out, then it gets cold. Candle. Okay, and this mark is notifying that, yep, this is actually blessed weapon. So you can have different blessings, and of course, the Guard of Death has best blessings for what weapon. They're actually giving a boost of the chance to hit with the weapon, so it's. This is some kind of missive. Magical Sloan. Scroll, Flame Cast. This is Stardust. So these are taking way too much space from the inventory. Magical scrolls, but hey, can't do anything about it. Anyhow, this was pretty good. Find Assessware Gold. And I actually checked the alpha version of the game that looks like this, and this new game, it's on the development. It's called Eye of Saragnar, which is something you should actually definitely look if you are into old school RPGs. So basically, you are doing in this game Krondor something you are not going to do anymore in other games. Silent he stalks me, running as I run, creeping as I creep, dressed as in black. He disappears at night only to return with the sun. Shadow. So basically we are stealing those mortals, those dark elves stuff, which is pretty okay because they have been trying to kill us. Eyes of Ishap. I never got into these scrolls because these are like one use weapons, and they're taking quite a big amount of your inventory space, and you are not getting more inventory space in this game, which is like, yeah, that was how it was done back at the day. So preferably sell everything you don't want to keep. But then again, you don't see everything if you are using the map. So that's how I'm going to go with this. So these are first games that actually use the 3D graphics in bigger scale. The face of the door was covered with the pattern. A strange semicircle formed the only black smudges that joined at the iron door latch. On closer examination, it seemed that smudges were actually fingerprints of some kind. I really should have that cleaned, I suppose. Leclerc jerked upright at the sound of the gruff voice. Padding from around the corner at the house, a balding man stopped next to Gorath and held up a palm stained with the black ink. A scribe tends to make quite a mess. Occupational hazard. Scribe, among other things, currently have accepted commission on behalf of the traveling merchant to do a survey of all the mercantile boxes in the area. Perhaps you would know, be interested in helping, and what would the profit of it, and what would be profit of it? Kurat said quietly. Information, the scribe replied. I've acquired a book. I think you find very interesting. There's a box just west of Hawk's Hollow, on the southern side of Small Hill. Find out what's in the box and I'll give you the book. Now leave me, I have much work to do. Sounds pretty okay. So basically, I think this game didn't have any kind of journal. So these are one of those things you should actually start to write down. I think I need to write down. I'm not going to trust my memory, so I'm going to write down this quest. Okay, so south of Hawk's Hollow. Okay, so Hawk's Hollow is really south. L'Oreal Hawk's Hollow is over there, so I think we are going to like go through the Lamut and check out our places before we go around. So we are going to like, the assassins are going to be like, what on earth they are doing when we are just circling around here and not going to directly to Krondor. I think this is like secret plan or something. But once again, yeah, it's all about experience and getting resources. Like in many RPGs of this era, looting is fun, but this okay, they are attacking. Ambush. Okay, I'm going back here. So you can actually strike diagonally. Oh, you can't. He's going to like the steps. Trust 47%. This is crazy. And he can't actually spellcast when he's fighting hand to hand. Okay, same chance. Let's focus on one guy. Yes, Owen hit something. Ah, he's escaping. Not in my watch. And this is one thing I actually liked. So basically enemies can try to escape. Oh, he's slow. I think he's just too old for this stuff. He doesn't want to die, which is good idea. Leclerc blinks. For a long moment he stared at his dead opponent, pulse spawning in his veins as he waited for yet another to come on. Teeth bared in or blade flashing, but instantly he knew that they had won this fight. No sense of being squeamish. Oh yeah. So I think this guy should actually take this. I think he got some minus bonuses to hit from using elf weapon. Although he's a elf, or maybe a half elf, but sure. Spoiled. So we are definitely not going to take that with us. I wonder if this blessing goes out at some point. I don't think so. Yeah. So that was some ambush, and let's check our position. We are over here. And Jabon is over there. These locations are unknown from the book series. Let's see if well, this guy probably can buy stuff. The weapons and armor. So how about we do this? %60%. Sovereigns and 9 royals. But if there is Owen's inventory, is the Owen selling that? You are just selling away those enemies' weapons and armor. And luckily in this game you can actually get what you can get what they are actually wearing. You don't need to like randomly get something if you are like killing someone. Okay, now he's leveling up the armor smith. kind of getting like 1 gold more. Swords are somehow really cheap. I don't know why. So basically I'm playing like how you should play, basically. So game doesn't hold you from the hand. You can do stupid things if you want. And like we saw, we shouldn't have like actually go and buy armor at the start of the game. Okay, he can't make it any better. Okay, hey, give it back. And luckily, the game is smart enough to put, if the guy doesn't have armor and you give him armor, he's going to wear it, which is like how it should be done. Okay, he's hammering himself. Can you improve this a bit? They are swapping weapons. Also, you can actually throw during the fight. You can actually throw weapons to character to another or other stuff. So let's see. Weapon craft and armor craft have been increasing, which is totally okay. So you can get experience of skills you do. Then again, you can actually think you can lock some skills, but yeah, you can lock him to actually practice only some skill, but that's like, why would you do that? So one feature that doesn't make too much sense. Now we are back at where we started, roughly. Okay. Let's rest. I think Eye of Saragnar had like box that you can actually see from the road, and that's on the corner of the road, like this. Prince Arotha from his lofty perch will find our troops without a search. His mind fill all his castle too, and then what will Prince Arotha do? So cringy. Die. So we have more stuff here. I wonder if you could... I wonder how those missives actually worked. Someone's calling. Recognizing the lilt of the young voice, Owen turned and looked back down the road. A young squire that had met the party and Jabon was trudging behind them, a bag full of scrolls slung over his shoulder. The squire bowed continentally, and Owen echoed the motion. What do you think you're doing? We are trying to remain unnoticed, damn, Leclerc muttered under his Try to behave as normally as possible. Since you know him, you handle him, Ovin. And remember, Korat's name is Torgath. Ovin finished. I'm not a child, you know. Loglar whispered, that remains to be seen. I didn't expect to see you again quite so soon. I would have thought you all the way to Lamut by now. Square feeling. I would have been here if the Duchess hadn't insisted on introducing me to all her daughters. Amelia was prettiest, I believe, though I think Catherine took quite a liking to you. Catherine took a liking to everyone at the party. She's as fickle as her mother. She's likely marry Kondoin if she can find one not tied to the march of lot. Kondoins are a ruling family at Krondor. True enough, I thought you say you were from Tyburn. Why are you taking this road home? Kind of a long way around, isn't it? Oh yes, but I had to meet up with my uncle Laclaire here, and my other friend, he is an elf, Torgath. They decided that it would be nice for me to take a tour with them down to Hawks Hollow. Down to Hawks Hollow. I hear it's lovely at this time of year. What are you up to? I'm looking to cash a reward actually. When I was in my way up to Japan last month, I found a chest this area, but I couldn't pick the lock on the thing. Figured it wasn't meant to be. I left off. Thing is, all the Duchess party, I couldn't help think about it. I had chest on the brain. I don't really care what's in it, but I have to be to pick that lock. Nearest town. I'm afraid my senses of direction and distance are a bit off right now. We all had a bit of drunk last night and we are still trying to shake off the effects. Which way is the nearest place? We could get cleaned up. It must be quite a bender if you are that confused. Head straight south along the main road and that will take you into Lamut. If you are looking for good food, the Blue Wheel is a solid wager. Though I warn you, there's Tsurani food can be a bit spicy. Tsurani were the people who actually invaded the realm some like 20 years ago or something. Inns. Any good inns that you can recommend? There's a Blue Wheel in at Lamut, or you might try the Dusty Wharf in Hawks Hollow. I suppose if you got really desperate, you could try breaking into one of the abandoned houses out of that part of the country, but I can't sleep well in a house that might fall on top of me. Of course, it may well be that the people have moved out for good reasons. I've heard that several people south of Laurier moved out after the contagion began spreading near their empty houses. Was there anything left behind any of the abandoned houses you saw? Nothing of real value, bits of food, few cupboards, occasional gold piece, behind the foundation of the house. Lost items mainly. The majority of the places I visited had those unpickable locks. What are they called? Weber locks, yes. They had the Weber locks installed, so I wasn't able to get inside. Lost items. I'm not certain that I think I may have mislaid a very valuable belonging of mine. I shouldn't worry about it depending where you lost it. The chances are it will still be there. So this was one of those games where you can actually drop your item and go back to get it. At least I think it was like stuff got removed between the chapters. Alright, let's check the area. Aventuriin. common in Rilanon, it was ideal resin to use on crossbow strings. So this is how you improve the crossbows. And let's check rations. They're actually good. So if you are running out of food, that's something that can actually happen. It's not the end of the world, basically. Because you get kind of, they are starving and they get stats reduced, but they are not dying. Shall we try to open it? So this is one of those games. Okay, you don't lose the lockpick right away, but you can actually break the. So much for the pair of pick locks. Key doesn't fit. So yeah, unpickable lock. Did I get any lock picking is 5. Actually, lock layer here is much better at lock picking. And we get you know who with us. Lock layer has one friend who. As the old saying goes, locks are for children and fools. I'm no fool. Okay, we have good armor. Something valuable. Well, apparently Locklear is no fool. Lamut. Do you think we should go in for supplies? So this during the Rift War, this was one of the places that were on the border. So there's like double hotspots. Garrison was impressive. Captain Belford stood as they entered the room. It's good to see you once again, Locklear, he said, extending his hand. I shared the sentiment. What's the news? How is the Earl casually? Locklear asked as the men shook hands. I think Earl Kasumi is a man. They said in a hard wooden chair, as Belford replied. He's well, but he's off taking care of some business with a few new guards. Thank you for following, Ruthavan. You have great game coming together. A few new cards come through the Rift from Kelevan. As for the rest of us, we are looking for a group of Grey Warriors from Kelevan who slipped through the Rift just before it closed. Interesting. Locklear looked a little puzzled. King Lam and Emperor Ikendar granted the Grey Warriors freedom and new status of the kingdom. I can't actually remember how the Grey Warriors actually connected to the Hover plot. Hello, glad to see back celebration. Yeah, definitely. Oh, it was 29 years ago when I actually bought this game from our friend. 50 Finnish marks, actually. So one of the best deals ever. Another was time when I got like collection of Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, and Deus Ex at the same disc, and that was like €3. Yes, but the agreement doesn't allow for the nationalization of the stolen goods. Seems they may have absconded with the valuable ruby from Makala's entourage, said Belford. Makala, the Tsurani Grade 1. So Grade 1s are high wizards of the Tsurani Empire. Ovin asked. Belfor smiled. Yes, he has been talking to Prince Arta about establishing permanent rift to encourage trade between Kingdom and Kelevan. He's really throwing his weight around trying to get his ruby back. If you should happen to come across it, bring it back here. He's offering a reward. Okay. And this is one of those games where I need to like write everything down. So Ruthavan, how's the Saregnar coming together? Fetcher's Post. Okay, so this is place we could actually get our archers' weapons. They are probably going to buy swords, armor. So basically, you can get skill points from these. Eyes of Ishab. So let's do a bit work from with these armors first. You can okay, he can improve that. Let's improve that. What else do we have for sale? Nothing much. Yeah, I think not. Oh, slowly but surely. Lots of text to write now. Yeah, that's always you need to have like a writer for these kinds of games. Making of business of repairing enemies' armor and weapon. I wonder if I should buy a light crossbow. I suppose I should save for the big guns like this. Accepted their company. Owen chatted idly with the rough-looking fellow as Locklear looked on, making certain that his ebullient mood, the magic and didn't slip and give away the true purpose of their travels. So where are you headed? The man asked, describing a large arc with his ale cup. Any place interesting? Actually, we are not headed any specific direction. Locklear interviewed. So Owen was spilling his guts already. We are wandering, looking for employer, treasure to watch, caravan to guard. The man snickered. Or a caravan to steal from A. Freebooters then, when there's not much going on in the kingdom these days. Not in the west. Prince has seen to it. His roads are safe and his vassals happy. Like the likes of us. He's taking all the fun out of life. Locklear nodded. You are not the first one to say so. Locklear said himself just moments ago. Okay, so I suppose we could actually go and buy the. Do we get some? Not really. Let's accept the price. Share with the party. Alright. The dwarf drew on his pipe. Blackbird smoke flew from the old Codger's mouth as he studied Locklear, Owen and Gorath each in turn. Although he had long ago lost the use of his left eye to a mortal sword stroke, his right eye still burned brightly beneath his bushy eyebrows. I wonder how mortal. I'm pronouncing this as mortal, but I don't know how it should be pronounced in real. For real. Dubai Unlock. Being as a dwarf and 4x as much as his own name, I recognized a strapping young man before me who at last I saw as a boy. Locklear. No slight intended, but I fear I don't recall the occasion. As like the rest of you humankind, none among you can remember much past a week. Probably their drinking habits, by the way. If not for the canning doors, you would have forgotten that you have a kingdom at all. I fetched you out of the cellar along the score of womenfolk at the Battle of Shetanon. Oh right, that's where the I remember now. That's where the Locklear was first introduced. Don't may remember me, Loki. Dupal, of course, glad to see you. I hadn't recognized you without the eye badge. What's the dwarf to do? I want this scratch fair and scare, and I'll be the dragon's mother before I cover up again. Shouldn't have done so in the first place. Now I just sit here, the jabber with the loon of a Juhannuspelit bartender, and I have me a fair peers, not much to do with Mac. More than cuddle all collapsed. Lucky the womanizer. I think he had a way with the ladies. A Baraknur has been seen down there. They've been offering hefty reward for its slaying, and I'll might you if the tradition holds to something of a challenge after they are fierce beasts even by the Dwarven standards. I think this is basically a trap. I've heard tales of these creatures of the stone. Thank you, Dupal. So Baraknur is located the next dungeon, and it's like dungeon that leads to one of the end areas of this game, so the level is kind of rising like this. So we can actually check the first floor, but I'm not like going to go much farther than that because it's hard dungeon. Some kind of newbie trap basically. Surmani clapped twice. Abruptly the festive mood of the room died. The clank of goblets and the scrape of blades falling silent as the bartenders shuffled between benches to bow at Locklear's feet. Touching a garden of feast to his forehead, then to his heart, he spoke somberly. Be welcome to the Blue Wheel Inn. May you find the drinks to your liking and the company of our patrons pleasurable. If there's anything our servants I may do, you need only ask, Sumani. Honors your house as well, Sumani. I'm correct believing this is a drinking establishment. So it is. We serve many of your Midcavian drinks as well as per a few from the Juhannuspelit Empire as well. Perhaps I might interest you in a cup of coca. Why did you decide to come to Midcavian and open an inn? Anyway, surely you would have to get a better business of Kelevan. I was not always a tavern keeper, as a soldier serving host in Savai Elder Kasumi. I was trapped here when the drift gate was collapsed at the end of the Rift War. Yeah, I recall it ended that way. It was our belief that we would never again see our families in Juhannuspelit or the green skies of Kelevan again. But Juhannuspelit warriors traditionally kill themselves if they are in danger of falling captive to an enemy. This is true, Lord, but the error informed us that we were forbidden to dispatch ourselves until given leave to do so by a Great One. I believe in Kimia you would call such a one a magician. Until such a time I content myself with the running Blue Wheel. I've heard that the permanent rift gate to Kelevan is located near here. I was hoping we could get a glimpse of it. There would be little to see at the moment, and the internal conflict had arisen in Empire between House Akoma and House Anasati. The Assembly of Magicians have ordered the temporary interruption transport between Empire and the Kingdom of Isles until such time conflict is resolved. I have assured the measure is temporary. So that's why they don't need to create another world in this game. And I recall that yeah, the rift caves were really important, and it was some kind of like fighting kingdoms in ancient China. Juhannus Empire was made of different houses who were fighting. One of the Raymond Faye's book series is trilogy of books, and it's telling how the one noble lady is fetched from the nunnery basically to lead her noble house in Empire, and it's pretty cool because she's kind of doing things in really interesting manner. Combat. You said were a soldier with the Juhannus forces. Would you have interested in teaching some of your combat techniques? It would be my honor, Lord, but I will require a small fee for my services. If my armor were damaged, I would be ill prepared otherwise to pay for its repair. 75 sovereigns should cover any potential harm. Is this fee acceptable? Oh yes! Sounds reasonable enough to me. Deal. I shall meet you by the river in 5 minutes time. I should form a new however sometimes seem quite different when I'm armored for battle. Apologize in advance for any harm that I should do you. Locklear Gap, striding down the narrow doorway of the Blue Wheel Tavern was a figure that could no longer bear any resemblance of the modest tavern keeper. Obviously, having taken this time to refit himself, Sumani had donned a pitted suit of blue laminate armor, Graves breastplate and leggings, all fashioned of the lightweight wood, which creaked as he lumbered towards them. So, background is that Empire didn't have a wood, so their planet didn't have much of metals, so they made everything from wood basically. Juhannus armor, Locklear asked. Sumani adjusted his blue-plumed helm over his eyes. I was former patrol leader. The Earl Kasumi insisted that I should keep the armor given to me by host Shinjawai. Although I no longer serve in the garrison, my oath of loyalty is still to the Earl. Are you prepared for your lessons? Yes, I think so. The mischievous glint reflected in Juhannus' eyes. Then defend yourselves. Locklear motions for the halt of the lessons as he hauled himself for the third time out of the cold Lamutian river. Okay, mercy, uncle, whatever it is your damnable Juhannus say when you want to surrender. Your will, Lord. Suman chuckled, already beginning to resume his modest role as a tavern keeper. I shall meet you inside the Blue Wheel once you have tried yourself off. Pretty badass tavern keeper. I don't know how much longer armor is going to last. Any day we could get it repaired. So he's giving basically newbie help here. Yep. Grey Warriors. We were up to the garrison area and they told that this group of Grey Warriors stole a pair of rubies. Are the Grey Warriors some kind of special armed force of Kelevan? Special, yes, but not in the way of you imagine. The Grey Warriors are men without honor, men whose houses have been destroyed by the opponent house. Such men must live off land until they die, though I have heard that Mara of the Akoma has accepted many such men into her estate. So Mara of the Akoma was main character in this trilogy of the Daughter of the Empire. I think was the name. I have in the shelf back there, but I don't I don't want to go and rummage around when I'm playing. Others have learned that they may be granted freedom if they can reach the kingdom. Many die trying. Where would such men go once they got here? Away from Lamut, whatever they might go, through the members of the garrison here are bound by kingdom law. Many of the soldiers still live by Juhannus custom, as I do. It's not easy to fight our feelings about grey ones. If indeed these grey warriors have stolen rubies, I suggest seek out man with a tainted hover. Kiefer Alescook in the town of Laurier. Yeah, this was time before quest journals in games were invented. He's a gem merchant there out of his home. Fetch. I get the feeling this ruby theft isn't an isolated incident. Usually in between my words, there's 6 such theft in the past year. Twice the games have been stolen near the assembly of machine guns, the Great One Makalas entourage.